Hello, this is Wisdom Hunter, ready for another example of an extended combat zone. So here this is going to be the second example of the extended combat zone. I already did one. I'll put the link below to the first one. Let me go ahead and start by saying the extended combat zone is where you take your melee weapon, that's your attack zone, and then you add 5 feet on around that attack zone. And that attack zone plus the 5 feet around the attack zone of your melee weapon becomes your extended combat zone. This is my homebrew. I've been using it for years, so I'm giving you some examples to show how it's used. Alright, let's get started. Let me set up the scene. We're going to have RPC Hanker over here, who's a level 2 rogue scout, going up against a level 4 scout over here. So Hanker's going to enter the room, see this NPC villain, and start going to battle. But what we have over here is you're going to see a rug, or actually the players are going to see a rug on the floor here, but they don't know that underneath that rug is a hole. So if I was to grab that and unhide it, then now all of a sudden you can see that the hole is visible. So this NPC is going to try and get Hanker to walk over the carpet and fall into that hole underneath the rug. Now you're going to see that with the rules as written, where you're going to get an attack of opportunity in order to move in such a way to draw a character into that hole. So you're going to see that this extended combat zone allows a player or an NPC to move in such a way without getting an attack of opportunity, which could be very costly. Okay, so let's go ahead and start the combat. Hanker's going to go first. Hanker will open the door, step in, see the villain, and rush to attack. So we'll go ahead and do the attack for a sword. The attack hits with a 23 against an AC of 13 for the level 4 scout. The damage is 4. So we'll go ahead and take that damage off, -4. Okay, next up is going to be the scout. Now the scout wants to get to the other side of this rug without getting an attack of opportunity, because that could be the end of it. If you look at the rules as written, the scout cannot move away because Hanker is using a short sword which only has a reach of 5 feet. So this level 4 scout has to stay somewhere within 5 feet always of Hanker, otherwise it'll get an attack of opportunity. And that's the rules as written, and that just doesn't work. You can't move away. So I add on an extra 5 feet in the combat zone, so this level 4 scout could actually do an attack and then step back here. And that's still within the combat zone because it's 10 feet away. It's the attack zone plus 5 feet, so it's still within the attack zone. And so now if Hanker wants to continue to fight, he's going to have to come in and be drawn in that movement. So as you can see, this extended combat zone allows these lower level characters like this level 4 scout, who doesn't have many hit points compared to Hanker. It allows them to move, and this is going to make combat much more interesting. So now let's play this out. Now that we know that level 4 scout can move like that, let's see where it goes. So the level 4 scout will do an attack. Come down here to the scout, +2 to an attack. Gets a critical hit. 5 + 6, which would be the die, maximum die for the first die. 5 + 6 is 11 points of damage. 11 points of damage against Hanker. That was a tough hit. And then the level 4 scout is going to move back 5 feet. Next we come back to Hanker at the top of the initiative order. So Hanker, very upset now, getting a critical hit, is going to step in, short sword, and start to go to work on this scout, this enemy scout. Comes in, does another attack, gets the hit and the damage. 7 points of damage. Now this is looking pretty serious for the opponent, down to 3 hit points, so he's going to have to do something pretty fast to try and save himself. So now, if you look at this, the level 4 scout has all this range still within the combat zone. all that range is still within the combat zone, which is within 10 feet of Hanker. So that level 4 scout has all that range to move. Now if it was rules as written, this scout would only be able to move here, in the hole, or on the other side over here. And none of those positions actually allows Hanker to fall in that hole. So you open it up. So we're going to have the level 4 scout do an attack and then step back. Come down to the scout. Gets a hit. 4 points of damage on Hanker. Alright, so this battle is getting pretty serious. Hanker is down to 6 hit points, and the opponent is down to 3 hit points. And now the scout is going to finish off the turn by stepping back to there. Now at this point in time, Hanker has to make a decision. Where to move in order to attack. Hanker could move here or step onto the carpet. Now let's say that Hanker wants to step onto the carpet to really trap that opponent in and not let it get out of this area right here. But we're going to give Hanker the opportunity to do a perception check, because in my homebrew you actually get 2 actions per turn. So Hanker's going to do a perception check to see if there's a hole there. Actually at disadvantage, because it's in combat, you're not really looking down, it's a carpet, you're not assuming that. So because Hanker's being distracted by the combat, the perception check will be done at disadvantage. 8 is not going to be good enough to see the carpet. And so Hanker steps in to do the shot and falls into the hole. So the plan of the opponent worked. And now Hanker is in the hole, and that's the way the combat worked. So as you can see, this extended combat zone allowed for something really interesting to happen. Now if we had had attacks of opportunity going against this level 4 scout this whole time, the level 4 scout would have died much earlier and wouldn't have been able to get around that carpet in order to get the opponent Hanker to fall into the hole. So you can see that the extended combat zone worked perfectly. Even at the end, Hanker had a chance to see the carpet and figure out that maybe there was a hole in there, failed the perception check, fell into the hole. That's just more interesting, more exciting actually, when things like that happen. And so that's why the extended combat zone, in my opinion and in my players' opinions, is just much better. Alright, that'll do it for this video for the example 2 of the extended combat zone. This is Wisdom Hunter. Thank you for watching.